What name did your family force on you that nearly ruined your life? My real name wasn't Brandon, it was Dolores. Yeah, you heard that right. My parents named me after my great-grandma because her will said any firstborn kid named after her would get half her money when they turned 18. My parents really wanted that cash, so they figured they'd just stick me with it and I'd deal with it later. When I was little, I didn't get why it was so bad. I mean, I knew it was weird, but Mom kept saying it was special. She'd tell everyone at the grocery store or the dentist office about how I was named after great-grandma Dolores, and how it meant I'd be rich someday. People would smile, but their eyes looked confused when they saw me standing there in my dinosaur shirt and Batman sneakers. Kindergarten was when it started getting really bad. The teacher called roll on the first day and said, "Dolores Martinez," and everyone turned to look at me. This kid named Tyler laughed so hard he fell out of his chair. From that day on, kids called me Dolores the Explorer, or Dolores the Doofus. I tried to ignore it, but it was every single day. I begged my parents to let me use my middle name, Kyle. It was right there. Normal. Easy. But Mom would get this angry look and say, "Don't be ungrateful. That name is your future. That name is putting you through college." Dad would just shrug and change the subject. By third grade, I stopped raising my hand in class. If the teacher called on me, everyone would snicker when she said my name. I started eating lunch in the bathroom just to avoid the cafeteria where kids would yell, "Hey Dolores, where's your purse?" Or, "Dolores, did you do your nails today?" Middle school was somehow worse. The school database had my legal name in it. So every substitute teacher, every school assembly, every time they announced honor roll over the intercom, there it was. Dolores Martinez. Kids would howl with laughter. I got shoved into lockers. Someone wrote, "Dolores is a girl," on my gym locker in permanent marker. I tried going by just D in 8th grade. For like 2 months it worked. My friends called me D. I felt almost normal. Then this substitute in English class looked at the roster and said, "Dolores? That's adorable. Is there a Dolores here?" With this stupid grin. I walked out. Just left. Got 3 days suspension for that. My parents were furious, but not because I was hurting. Mom screamed about how I was being dramatic, and Dad said, "2 more years and you'll thank us when that check comes." I locked myself in my room for the rest of the night. High school broke me. I barely showed up. When I did, I kept my head down and didn't talk to anyone. I wore the same black hoodie every day and sat in the back corner of every class. I started scratching lines into my arm with a paperclip during lunch, just to feel something I could control. Senior year, I applied to this amazing film school in California. I wanted to go there since I was 12. I spent months on my application, my portfolio, everything. But when I submitted it, the system flagged me. My legal name on my transcripts didn't match the name on my application. I'd used Brandon Kyle because I couldn't stand seeing Dolores anymore. They rejected it. Said I had to resubmit with matching documents. By the time I figured that out, the deadline had passed. I didn't get in. I spent my 18th birthday in my room. Mom kept talking about the money, about how we'd finally planned a big party to celebrate. The lawyer called that afternoon. The executor of the will wanted to meet with me. Turns out great-grandma's executor was this older lady named Ms. Pruitt, who'd known my great-grandma really well. She sat me down in her office and said, "Your great-grandmother wanted to help someone who carried her spirit, not someone she destroyed. I've seen what this did to you." She told me I'd have to prove in court that the name caused real harm before I could get the money. Mom lost it. Started yelling about how I was selfish and dramatic. Dad didn't say anything. I got a lawyer. It took 2 years. I had to bring in my old teachers who testified about how I stopped participating in class. My middle school counselor talked about the bullying reports. I had to show my medical records from therapy. Had to admit in front of a courtroom that I'd hurt myself because I hated my own name so much that I hated myself. The judge finally ruled in my favor. I got the money. That same week I went to the courthouse and legally changed my name to Brandon Kyle Martinez. I watched them stamp the papers and I cried right there at the desk.